I got a rollicking tale of terror for you, and it involves somebody fucking croaking. What? Somebody pretty cool, too. Anyway, before we get there, let's hit that badass theme song that actually sucks. Movies, music, storytimes, all kinds of shit for you. Everything goes in its house and out from Anyway, that fucking theme song was written by McBallium.
Yep.
Some people may be wondering who McBallium is. By some people, I mean no one.
No one.
But McBallium is a pseudo-gay, quasi-androgynous mystery of a man that I met while locked up. He also happens to be pretty talented at strumming the old banjo, and by that I mean just playing instruments.
Yep. Definitely not banjo, though.
But he's kind of he's weird, man. Let's just say that. Case in point, his name's McBallium.
Yeah.
And that was what
name.
Yeah. That's actually what he requested to be called. Yeah. McBallium. Mac Ball Yum. Mac to make you believe, oh, this is gonna be a legitimate name.
Maybe
Ball as in testes. Yum as in yum. Those testes taste pretty good.
Yep.
Anyway, we're not talking about McBallium.
All right.
But we are talking about showers, and that's a good segue because he had a weird dream about some black guy coming up behind. I say some black guy because it was this guy that was his neighbor that was black guy.
And massive.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he wasn't massive. He was just a scary dude.
Just go along with the massiveness.
He was cool, like Karate Kid cool, only like adult, I guess.
All right.
But anyway, he was this black guy neighbor of his in lockup, and why do I keep saying lockup in prison? And he had a fucking dream that he was showering. First of all, who dreams about fucking showering? Anyway, whatever. He's dreaming that he's showering and he comes out to dry himself. And then the next part of his dream, as he related it to me, why are you telling me this in prison when an earshot of people, is that this dude comes up behind him, slides his hands up his back and arms, and whispers sweet nothing into his ear, and then he woke up out of a nightmare, quote unquote.
He probably freaking jizzed his pants or something.
Then, cut to years later, hey, call me McBallium.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fucking dream you had. That was on accident. That you didn't lucidly explore.
Dude, he clearly did.
Anyway, since that's shower related, we're going to segue into shower tales.
Not a great segue.
It's not the best.
No.
But
we're known for shitty segues, so it's alright.
I mean, that's our bread and butter.
Yep.
Lots of butter. Anyway.
Because we're fat.
There's lots of weird circumstances that happen in the fucking shower in prison because you're naked around a bazillion people. You know, that in itself.
Dudes, really.
Yeah. And in some prisons, it's like mass showering. You know, there's like 500 people inside a massive ass shower room. Gather, you know, like clusters of 5 or some shit. Gather around these cylinders.
Gather around
all showering together. There's like dudes fucking over there and shit.
Yeah, there is.
When you're done, you get in a line, naked, wait in line to get clothes and a towel. Then, you know, the whole time, guards are watching you. Thankfully, I didn't do that too many because I didn't hit too many huge units. But
it's a thing.
It's a thing. And then in the smaller units, it's still uncomfortable because you're in a smaller room with a bunch of naked fucks, ass to ass, basically.
People sliding up on other people and shit.
Yeah, apparently. But anyway, I have a few weird tales to tell. There's many more, but I'm going to tell a slight slathering.
I have one shower tale I can tell.
From
not
prison
related, but...
Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Let me get these out of the fucking way. And the first one is the ass washer.
Oh, yeah. Now, we have told this tale before, but that is a deleted video.
Yeah.
So it's pointless for me to bring it up.
Yep. Totally pointless. But that's how we roll.
That's how we roll. We could cut this part out.
Won't.
Definitely won't.
That would require editing and not going to happen. But anyway, we do edit. It's just
it's rare.
It's very rare. Ooh. But anyway, yeah, man, there was this fucking dude, and he was a pretty cool cat. You know, there was nothing about him that suggested he was weird. He was actually a really nice guy. But in the shower, I would avoid having, because you have to shower people like 90% of the time.
Yeah.
I would avoid being around him because, or I would just avoid going in there because, fuck, man,
Dongs.
I knew what was going to happen. And what was going to happen was he was going to wash his ass for an inordinate amount of fucking time, minutes, nay, possibly hours. You know, so the first time I encountered this was I went in there, and I hate when people talk to me in the shower. I know that sounds like like a prison only thing,
Yeah.
but I'm sure there's like locker rooms and out there where people are out just there like
I don't know,
don't
man.
fucking talk to me.
I think people generally keep to themselves in the shower. I didn't know that was even a thing.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, this fucking dude was so nice, so vocal, so willing to converse that the moment I walk in, he starts talking. I'm like, oh man, I'm just facing the wall doing my thing, But you can't face the wall forever. You gotta wash your fucking ass. You gotta wash your back, all that shit, and then wash the soap off. So when I turn, I noticed one thing. There were 6 shower heads, one on one wall. I'm sorry, 3 on one wall, 3 on the other. I'm on this side of the wall, on this far corner. He's on that side of the wall, on the opposite far corner. When I went in, I've heard his talking, but I've just looked away the whole time. When I finally turned to wash the soap off my back and anus, I turned and he has moved to the shower directly behind the one I was at. Yeah, and I was like, what the fuck? Who moves?
Who migrates?
Yeah, who migrates during the fucking shower? It's not like the shower broke. But anyway, he's migrated to my vicinity and he's bent over at the waist. Straightest legs you've ever seen in your life. You could see the striations in his muscle. He was trying so hard to keep them legs straight. Mm-hmm. I've never seen straighter legs, man. Mm-hmm. And I've seen Stacy Keibler go under a ring rope. Motherfucking shit, man!
Like, if there were any straighter, they would actually be inverted.
Yes!
He'd have, like, praying mantis legs.
He was going into fucking, like, the arrival mode. Man, that's an old reference.
Not a great reference.
I have to explain it, too. The Charlie Sheen one, with a inverted leg. I could have gone with like a wolf, but I went with that one. But anyway, the fucking guy's legs were fucking so straight, I was afraid his knees were going to implode because fuck. Yep. Anyway.
We're talking like Y legs, like fat guy Y leg.
Only, forward facing.
I think we've explained this leg thing.
His fucking legs are straight. Which means that his ass is like stuck up straight into my face, literally. And he's washing it very thoroughly. Now, there's an Adam Sandler movie that has a guy washing his ass, and I've always enjoyed that scene because it's funny to me. Mm-hmm. And I know that's kind of rare to say about an Adam Sandler movie, but the point is, when you see that shit in real life, it's not funny.
Not good.
And then,
I think you gotta explain how this ass cleaning was, though.
Dude, look.
Because just saying someone was cleaning their ass thoroughly, you're like,
no. So you gotta.
But I've heard.
Wait. You're thinking of another ass cleaner. That's another story.
Another ass
cleaner. This is a guy bent over at the waist, and he's frothing his ass cheeks with soap, making sure to go in between the cheeks with his hands over and over again. There's only so much you can fucking soap your ass.
True.
Before you go, that fucker's clean.
It's clean, dude.
The inside, maybe a little more, but fuck, man.
You're talking the cheeks.
He's going whole hog. He's grabbing the cheek and lining the inside with the tips of his fingers. And I'm like, what the fuck? And dude, it's like I couldn't stare away. I was like, what the fuck is this, man? I wish I had a fucking stopwatch in there.
It is a weird technique.
Anyway, he does this for a good, solid, year. Because that's what it felt like.
The weird thing is that he went behind you to do it.
Yes, exactly. So I'm hoping like he was ashamed. But here's the thing. It couldn't have been that because he had never broken conversation the whole time.
Oh, man.
And by conversation, I mean one-sided conversation because I was giving the occasional like, whatever.
You weren't having none of that.
Yeah, I wasn't wanting the convo. But here I am faced with an asshole literally swathed in fucking
butter.
Butter?
You're gonna say butter.
in fucking suds. And I'm like, what is this, man? Wash that shit off. And he did not, man. I actually finished my shower and he was still
lathering
the ass. Here's the thing. I was like, maybe he's just a sex freak or some shit for me. And he's suggesting
he's looping that up.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Apparently, when I mentioned this to, coincidentally, McBallium, he's like, oh, I've seen him do that.
Oh, no.
And I was like, oh, well, McBallium is quasi-androgynous, so maybe it was...
He definitely saw him for more than 2 seconds.
Yeah. So I hit up my old boy, the guy that nobody liked to shower with, because he stunk so bad that even showers couldn't take care of it.
Oh, is it the time for his return?
Yes.
Yet again?
I hit up the man, the legend, the man planet...
Yep.
Mr. Gluttony. And I say, yo, Glut, when you take your showers every, I don't know, eon or so, have you ever encountered this guy? And the reason I asked him, you might be wondering, is because there was one person that wouldn't flinch at taking a shower with Mr. Gluttony. And it was that guy. Now, he didn't do it every time, but if he happened to want to shower and Gluttony was in there,
he wasn't going to leave.
He wasn't going to leave. And so I asked the old Glut, and he's like, yeah, I've seen him. Why? Why are you asking me about showers? And I'm like, oh, well, dude, there's this issue with an anus that needs to be verified. And he goes, I would shit you. And this was he wasn't a vile person. I mean, physically he was.
Yeah.
And definitely in the odor department was awful. But, he was a pretty nice guy, Gluttony. Except for the, feeding people to death and all that shit. But anyway,
he was kind of a piece of shit.
He wasn't prone.
He was all right.
Yeah, he wasn't prone to cussing or speaking ill about people. Anyway, he says to me, "Oh, you mean when he washes his ass?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, yep, it's a thing."
Yep.
Apparently, it was just a thing he did, washing his ass for super long time. But that's okay.
With his little butt all up.
I could live with that. Maybe Gluttony could have learned a thing or two. Here's the thing: this was not my first encounter with an ass washer. There was this neighbor of mine. We called him George Foreman because he looked like a retarded version of him. And he was a weird cat. He was a weird cat. First of all, he liked to squat people. He would put them on his neck, claim that he was the next Mark Henry, and squat them. And he would look for the heaviest fucks in the dorm. And I was one of those fat fucks. And there was, Gluttony was way bigger than me, but he had no muscles. So he was probably lighter. But there was one guy that was bigger than me, and he was pretty huge, and he refused to be squatted. But I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I want to say that I got squatted by a retarded George Foreman. So I said, you know what? GF. Oh, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, that's not good.
Let's scratch the GF. But you know what, George? I'm going to let you squat me. And so I straddle his neck.
That does not sound...
So I straddle his neck. Sounds even worse.
The flip, dude.
And I let him go for the old squat. And he squatted me. And he did it quite a number of times. And he was like, thanks, man. He had a weird accent there. Anyway, George Foreman was a weird cat is what I'm saying here. He was also responsible for another tale that I will tell in another episode because it's quasi-related but not. We're going to focus on ass and showers here. Here's the thing about George Foreman. He liked to work out a lot, as evidenced by the squatting. So he would shower quite a bit. Well, turns out the shower was a spectacle with him because, and I witnessed this with mine very own eyes. I couldn't believe it. In fact...
Mine very?
Yes, man. I was so in awe of this tale that I had to shower with him. That's right. I went out of my way to shower with a man to verify that this happened. And the guy that told me was one of my old cellies called Red, a towering, kind of like bully style, old school prisoner guy. But me and him got on pretty good. And Red was like, you got to check this out. Our neighbor is doing some weird fucking shit in the shower. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I wait for old GF to go hit the shower. I grab my shit, strip down to my skivvies, and waddle on over there.
Not sounding good, dude.
And I go over there and get in the shower. I mean, what are you going to do? Am I going to go fully clothed in the shower? Come on, you got to strip down to your skivvies.
You're stripping down to meet GF in the shower.
That's how it rolls, damn it. But anyway, I go in, I start my little shower. He's over there in the corner. And guess what? He's a conversationalist too. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. But then I think this is a good way for me to verify his little technique that I've heard so much about. So I engage in the conversation. And mind you, the conversation is not the greatest, as he is the, mental equivalent of this pen. Anyway, whilst I'm conversing, the guy grabs his little, the little washcloths you use. Some people use 2 washcloths, one for the face, one for the whole body. Others go whole hog with a washcloth.
Yeah.
This guy went a step further. This guy, did the face wash. All right. Did the body wash. All right. I mean, it happens, right? Then,
I mean, yeah.
No, I'm saying with the same cloth.
Yeah.
Then,
this is the guy I was thinking
yes,
of.
in the midst of conversation, he squats, and I'm talking a deep squat, like when he squatted me on his shoulders.
Yeah.
He squats in the midst of conversation, doesn't break,
like this far off the ground. Type of squat.
Grabs that little washcloth full of fucking soap, wraps it around his fucking claw, does a old reach around, and drills
into his beehole,
into his butthole.
Yep.
And he's like, it was like
any
harder, and oil would have come out. And let me tell you, something did come out, because when he pulled that towel off, and by pulled I mean he took his hand out and the towel was dangling from his cheeks, and his cheeks were parted, mind you. He pulls that bad boy out, and it is literally lined and caked in feces,
aka feces for
for the uninitiated. And he thinks nothing of it. The conversation's still going.
Oh, dude,
I'm terrified. He gets up. He picks that.
Oh, dude.
He extends the towel to its full loathsome glory, and it's like when Jesus got fucking flogged and he was being taken down the streets and shit, and people were mocking him, and that dude come up and he wipes his sweat off and he looks at it and
with a snot rag,
and his fucking face is like on the fucking rag. It was that, only with feces, and I was like, dude, that's a lot of fucking shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, he washes it off in the shower spout. The feces, I mean. Once it's clean, quote unquote, he goes for a second drill, takes out a lighter amount, but still quite a hefty one, and goes for the second run, does the whole process again.
I'm not squeamish when it comes to feces, but this is disgusting.
Oh, you're not squeamish. You're literally sitting in it right.
Yeah, actually.
Your stool is made of stool. But yeah, man, this guy definitely wasn't squeamish. Anyway, he does this 3 times till there's no feces coming out, basically. Then he washes himself off. He's like, well, I'm going to go out. All right, yeah, please get the fuck out because it seems like shit in here. And he goes to dry himself. At that point, I'm like, I'm done. Fuck this. I'm done with life in general. Yeah. I go out to dry myself too because there's a drying space, right? So I'm drying myself as he's drying himself. And then he goes for his drying technique. There was a gate that closed on the showers, right? Okay, well, that fucking shower gate, they could lock it up at night. And if somebody got in a fight, they would lock them in the shower and shut it down, and they could stay there for hours. Which meant that the gate had a bean slot or a food slot. Just in case you were stuck in there for hours, they could feed you. Well, the gate's open at this point, because obviously the showers are open, but his drying technique was to prop his little fucking leg up onto the bean slot, which is pretty high. It's almost like chest level.
It's like Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, and mind you, this George Foreman fuck, he's like 5'6". He's pretty short. I mean, he's bulky, but he's short. So imagine a short fuck propping his leg to about yay high on me. I'm 6 foot, and he's splayed out. Yeah, like Jean-Claude Van Damme, only sideways. And he goes for an ass drill dry with his fucking towel.
Oh, dude.
Just full on ass drill dry.
It's like not destroyed.
I don't know, but get this. When he gets the towel and he goes to dry it off, there's fucking feces stains on
dude! Again, I'm not squeamish when it comes to feces. You caught me off on a weekday or something. I felt like puke coming up.
It was bad, man.
That's disgusting.
But anyway, just a few other shower quickies here. I used to be the dorm janitor, so I would clean at night. So I would get a chance to, actually take showers by myself most of the time. Unless it was super hot, then I would take them in the morning. And or if I wanted to see fucking the ass drill in fucking motion, then I would do that. But yeah, man, I would clean at night, which means that I would get to see the results of an entire day's worth of shower action. So, things that I have found in the shower. This is the first thing that I found in the shower. A massive volcano-like fucking pile of toilet paper with shit all over it.
Why?
I don't know. Why? Yeah, how? The fucking toilets are right there. Anyway, that was the first thing I found. I was pissed, to say the least. Another thing I found, pool. Okay, like the shower floor is kind of uneven, so water pools. Pools of semen.
Oh.
I'm talking like literal murky, viscous pools of semen, and you're wearing like shower slides to go in there. So sometimes you hit, a particularly deep spot, and the backwash goes under your fucking heels and shit.
Actually, that brings up an interesting point. Did you ever? Was there like backwash of this dude's feces water?
No, surprisingly not.
Ugh. Well, that's good.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Another thing I've encountered, of course, is the infamous now gluttony stepped on shit pile into the fucking grate.
Damn.
Just go shit in the fucking toilet, man. Anyway.
That's what the toilet paper was probably him.
Yeah. I've also found porno in there that people forgot because they went in for a whack by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And they left their porno behind. So I took it and resold it because everybody was embarrassed to admit that it was their porno. Now, here's the thing. This is because of the place I was at, which was, a faith dorm. So people were trying to do better. So them admitting that they had something that was making them stumble would have put pie in their face. Any other dorm, I'm not fucking touching that shit because I'm going to get shanked in the ass with a fucking towel or some shit. Anyway, I also found bloody shorts. Don't want to know why. Don't care to know why, but they were bloody.
Shorts.
In the ass area.
It's McBallions shorts.
Probably. And I found people fucking. And that was a thing.
Yeah.
Looked away. Walked the fuck away. Pretended it never happened. Anyway, it's my shower stories.
Yep.
What do you got? You said you had one.
We're gonna break this one off.
Like a log?
Like a log in the shower. And I'll tell my tale in another vid.
All right.
Mainly because my pointer disappeared in my new computer, and it's kind of worrying me a little bit.
That's the thing.
So we're gonna do a reset and do it on another video.
All right.
Mine isn't as good. It's a really short one, so I hope you have another shower tale to supplement mine. But,
I do.
Stay tuned for that.
Hit like, share, subscribe, and the notification buttons. Like the way I said that?
Nope. I'm also gonna have to edit this because I can't find my pointer. So that's good.